Okay, here we go again, and as I've said in previous videos, I've been reorganizing as I'm sorting out my flags from all over the world and my historical flags. And this one is specific to the British Isles, and I have some more later, but I want to focus this time around specifically on the island of Great Britain, which consists of England, Scotland, Wales, and a little corner called Cornwall. You'll see what I mean. And so first up, this majestic-looking banner of a flag. This is the flag of Wales, and they have their own language called Welsh. I was thinking if I go over that way, I might get a little Welsh phrase book just for kicks. But I'm not aspiring to fluency, but it is a unique Celtic language. And there's still pockets of the country that speak Welsh as their main language and not English. And a lot like, Scotland and Ireland, by the dominant English kings and such. Their local language was suppressed and discouraged. I mean, up until the 1800s and the early 20th century, if a kid was speaking Welsh, he had to wear a sign if he said any words in Welsh to kind of shame him, kind of like making them sit in the corner. And maybe they get hit with a ruler or a stick for speaking Welsh, which was common. Kind of like what they did in Manifest Destiny with the forced Indian schools and, little running bear. If he spoke Cree or Crow, he'd get a whipping. And that was the mindset. You submit to the dominant culture or else. And it's a different time now, and we're all pretty much encouraged to celebrate our heritage and our ancestral roots, or we don't have to. Okay, and this is Cornwall. I kind of learned about this a little later in life, and it looks like a dreary St. George's flag, but it's the black field with the white cross on it, and it's the bottom of England, and pretty similar Celtic language to Welsh, if I'm correct. Again, anybody out there, if you're of that heritage, or you're from the British Isles, or more learned about this than I am, please correct me. Again, no bullying or insulting, because you will be gone. So Cornish, they speak a language called Cornish. And growing up, I heard about the Cornish hens. So there's a little lower pocket of the British Isles. And the language is, I don't want to say it's nearly extinct, but there's still a pocket of people that are doing their best to, not let the language fade into extinction. And they have, I believe if I went there, I could get like a little Cornish phrase book or dictionary. And who knows if I got friends in the UK, so maybe we can take a road trip. I'd even throw in the petrol dollars. Americans say gas or gasoline, but they say petrol. I've got 20 quid for petrol. But despite some of that politically correct nanny state politics that I'm not very fond of, for the history and culture, I love the British Isles. I mean, that place is so rich in history, and so many beautiful historic landmarks and castles, like Germany when I was there as a kid. And of course, it's the parent culture to what is now the United States. This is check it out, Cornish. Yeah, but I'd love to go to Cornwall just for bragging rights. Yeah, been there, done that. Here's some souvenirs that are distinct to the local culture. And you'd think by now I probably would have been through those other places in the UK, but no. I've been to England, and this is the St. George's flag of England. And the Union Jack is a combination of the English and Scottish flag. You'll see what I mean. It again, very. I think of knights and castles when I see this flag, and so this is specifically for England, St. George. And I've been in England more times than I can count, and especially layovers. And unless you're going specifically to the UK, I really don't recommend Heathrow. And this is the neighbour to the top of England. This is Scotland, and they have their own Gaelic language, even though there's a few pockets in the country that speak Gaelic. Most Irish, Scots, they speak that like a rogue English, and it does have some Gaelic words like, hey, a wee lass, a little girl, I fancy a pint. And then a lot of people mistake the Northern English accent for the Scottish accent because, it does have a, they roll their R's like the Scots. Pardon the sniffles. So, Scotland. And that's another bucket list destination. I've never been to Scotland, and I always wanted to. So, Glasgow and Edinburgh would be a given, but I want to check out some other landmarks, maybe Loch Ness or a provincial town somewhere. And so there it is, the Scottish flag. And my bucket list, if or when I actually make it to the UK again, I want to get some bagpipes. Even if it's like those dinky toy bagpipes, from the souvenir shop. A real set of well-crafted Scottish bagpipes, they are expensive, retarded expensive. It's like, I could buy a stupid, dinky little car with what they'd charge for, a good set of bagpipes. Even used, well-crafted, Scottish-crafted bagpipes are sky high in price. It's not like, getting a little tuba for my son. They are very expensive. My contrabass cost me a little over $2,000 to have custom made, and believe me, for that, those go in the tens of thousands. So, and I've been into music for a long time, so that's why I got the scoop on that. Like, I know how expensive those are, like a Stradivarius or a cello. They are quite pricey. And this is the Union Jack to represent all the corners of the United Kingdom and its territories. And this is, the British flag. Of course, growing up as a kid, when I got into hard rock and heavy metal, at the time, a lot of these bands were coming from Great Britain, like my Iron Maiden books and photos. They're proud to be British, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any kind of national pride, and especially when things got politically correct and we're told how bad we are because, we're of European-based culture. And London is not what it used to be, but I'm going to go off. There's plenty of other channels going on there, but when I go to that part of the world, I want to see British culture, Welsh culture, Scottish culture, Northern Irish culture. Okay, and so that's that for the Union Jack. Over and out. Thanks for watching.